If you love the outdoors, then Outdoor Boys might be one of your favorite YouTube channels. Luke Nichols is the man behind this popular channel. His story is quite inspiring and interesting. In this video, I'll tell you how Luke grew up outdoors, his struggles and successes, and how he started on YouTube as a hobby, but later worked to turn it into a successful, profitable full-time career. So, now let's start from the beginning. Luke Nichols was born in 1978 in Anchorage, Alaska, U.S. He grew up there. He has siblings. His parents, Melvin Nichols and Sharon Nichols, worked as missionaries for the church. Luke grew up watching his grandfather's father and elder brother, Dan, fishing in Anchorage, and at a young age, Luke fell in love with fishing after Melvin took him fishing. Luke started fly fishing for trout and salmon and also did a lot of ice fishing in Alaska. Later, he took his kids on trips and introduced them to fishing. While in his junior high school, Luke earned and saved money to buy his first fly rod. The young Luke was an avid hunter and used to hunt sandhill cranes and upland game birds, especially waterfowl like ducks, grouse, quails, and ptarmigans. The teenage Luke wanted to grow up to become a professional wood carver, specializing in native Alaskan totemic art, and used to design and sell totem poles and paddles. He grew up in Alaska until 19 and then volunteered to serve a full-time mission for his church. So, Luke traveled to Fukuoka, Japan, where he served as a missionary at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints from November 1997 to November 1999. He learned to speak Japanese there. By the end of 2013, Luke had grown his law practice firm, Nichols and Green PLLC, as big as he could and wanted to expand further, but his business partner wasn't interested in his expansion plans. So, Luke had a lot of free time and decided to publish fishing videos. So he started his first YouTube channel, Catfish and Carp, on November 28, 2013, and on the same day published his first video, Catfishing Bells. Luke got his first check from YouTube, and even though it wasn't a huge amount, it exceeded his expectations. He analyzed some big YouTube channels and calculated that they were earning handsomely. Thanks to this, he realized the potential of YouTube. At the time, Luke was running a very niche-down law practice and feared that any change in market could wipe his business. So, he realized the importance of diversification, but couldn't bring his partner on the same page. So, Luke started worrying about his family in case his business gets shut down. He felt that his YouTube channel could be a great way to diversify his income, which would protect his family if something happens to his law business. At the time, Luke observed some inferior videos performing well and felt that he could produce far better quality videos. So he decided to seriously work on his Catfish and Carp channel and start earning from it. Luke also convinced his wife. When his channel became profitable, he planned to retire earlier as he was making double income, one with his channel and another with his law practice. Eventually, YouTube surpassed his law practice in terms of income, and he started adjusting his retirement plan. At the time, it was all about retiring early in order to spend more time with his family. Initially, Luke had no idea of video production, but when he decided to seriously work on YouTube, he learned video production and editing and all the required skills. On his Catfish and Carp channel, true to its name, Luke used to mostly publish fishing videos of catfish and carp. Sometimes he used to also fish sharks, trout, and bass. But as Luke was a man of many interests and some of his interests weren't related to fishing, he used to occasionally publish videos unrelated to fishing on the Catfish and Carp channel, and this divided his audience into two. One group used to get upset by his non-fishing videos and express their disappointment through comments, whereas another group didn't mind those videos as they loved watching any video with his son Tommy in it. Luke was at a crossroads as he wanted to both publish non-fishing videos and not disappoint his viewers. So Luke decided to start a new YouTube channel for such videos where he wanted to showcase his variety of non-fishing interests like foraging, fossil hunting, camping, hiking, traveling, holidaying, tips and tutorials, family, DIY projects, etc. But Luke didn't launch his new YouTube channel right away as he was too busy with his Catfish and Carp channel, law firm, and family. At the time, he was publishing 2 videos per week on the Catfish channel, and it was too much work. So, Luke started shooting and stockpiling videos for his new channel, and after doing this for several months, he launched the Outdoor Boys YouTube channel on May 5th, 2015, and uploaded all those videos. After uploading videos on both channels for many years, Luke stopped working on Catfish and Carp channel in August 2022, and since then, he has been completely dedicated to his Outdoor Boys channel. Even though Luke started Outdoor Boys for non-fishing videos, later he also started publishing fishing videos on it. Previously, Luke used to blog on cats and carp.com, but stopped working on it in 2015. Even though his law practice kept him busy, he published a video every single week for a decade, and for a while, he also published 2 videos per week on his catfish channel. Later, he started publishing a video every other week on his Outdoor Boys channel. Luke's dedication paid off, as currently he has more than 1 million subscribers on his catfish and carp channel and a whopping 11.9 million subscribers on Outdoor Boys. Thanks to his success on YouTube, he became a full-time professional YouTuber in 2020. Luke earns from ads on his channel and merchandise. He had reached his financial goal for retirement, and 2023 was the best year for the Outdoor Boys channel, as it skyrocketed from 2 million to 9 million subscribers, and currently, it is one of the most successful outdoor channels. Luke took no formal training in outdoor activities but learned a great deal by just taking initiative. Now let's take a brief look at his education, career, and struggles. After doing his schooling from Robert Service High School in Anchorage, Luke attended Brigham Young University in Provo in 1996 and studied for a BS in political science and graduated in 2004. In 2003, Luke started Spectrum Political Services, a political consulting business, and ran political campaigns in Utah, but this business was time-intensive and he was left with no family time. So he pulled the shutter in 2006. Then Luke, along with his family, moved to Virginia and decided to become a lawyer. So he attended Antonin Scalia Law School, George Mason University in Arlington, and studied for a Juris Doctorate in criminal law and immigration law and graduated in 2009. Luke started Spectrum Legal Defense in 2009 and ran it until 2013, and he started Nichols and Green PLLC in Fairfax, Virginia in 2011 and ran it until 2020 and was a criminal defense attorney. Then, as his YouTube channel grew much bigger than his law practice, he became a full-time YouTuber. Luke authored 4 law books, and from 1994 to 2003, he worked as an inspector at Alaska Test Lab. While practicing law, Luke and Rebecca tried for kids, but it didn't work out and this concerned them. So they bought a house and moved into the countryside, and soon, Rebecca became pregnant with their first son, Tommy. Luke films with a GoPro on a selfie stick and carries a lot of batteries for his camera. Now let's take a brief look at his personal life. Luke met Rebecca at a church. At the time, both of them were in their sophomore year at BYU. She hails from Salt Lake City, Utah. They married in August 2001 and have 3 sons, Thomas, Nathan, and Jacob, and all of them love the outdoors. Thomas has an outdoor YouTube channel, Outdoor Tom, on which he has 249,000 subscribers. Luke is a Christian, and faith and family are his topmost priorities. He lives in Anchorage. Now enjoy a few tidbits about him. Luke loves traveling and has traveled to many countries like Japan, Canada, England, Spain, Tanzania, Portugal, Morocco, Gibraltar, India, and Palau. He also traveled the world for fishing charters. When Luke moved from Alaska to Utah, he stopped fishing as he assumed that fishing wouldn't be great in Utah, but it took him many years to realize that Utah too had some great fishing, and he continued fishing when he moved to Virginia. In 2022, Luke and 4-year-old Jacob camped in minus 60 degrees in a hot tent. While camping, Luke has the most trouble with mice than any other animal, as it not only eats his food, but also troubles him while sleeping. He loves steak, and his favorite camping food is beans and rice, as they are not only delicious, but also non-perishable and take very little space in his backpack. Luke loves surf fishing bluefish on the East Coast and catching carp on the surface, and also enjoys fly fishing for trout. So, how are you inspired by Luke Nichols' story? Please comment below. If you are into reading, I've also written his story on my website. Find the link in this video's description. For more success stories of your favorite YouTubers, please subscribe to my YouTube channel.